Kawhi, if you're watching this, I made you laugh, but he was doing like the
Welcome back to another episode of Podcast P, presented to you by Prize Picks, a Wave Sports and Entertainment original. It is your guy, PG-13 here, and I'm with my dogs, Dallas Rutherford and Jackie Long.
Yeah.
And we have a special treat with us today. This guest is the biggest, newest star in LA now, Killer Cam, Cameron Brink. Welcome to the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. How has your time in LA been so far?
Gosh, it's been crazy. I'm literally just moving out of a hotel room. So
really? It goes fast too.
It's been a whirlwind for sure. But I think I'm just adjusting. But the people here are great. The food's great. Fashion, I'm just loving it.
Yeah. So you house shopping?
Shopping?
House shopping right now?
Yeah, no. Well, so we have like player housing.
Okay.
But yeah, they subsidize for us, so it's nice because rent is expensive.
Oh my gosh. Have you spent much time in LA?
Prior to this? More like Orange County.
Okay.
But yeah, I love it so far though.
Yeah, love that. Have you got any like favorite spots yet?
We ate there today. My mom over there. It's called Playa Provisions. Have you ate there?
I haven't been there.
It's so good. They
Yeah.
have the best fish tacos.
Okay. Sounds like a healthy choice right here.
I mean, it's like fried, so not really.
That's what I gotta get better at. Like I'm really good. I have a chef, so I'm really good at eating healthy at home. But outside of that, like I'm not good at all with eating at a healthy restaurant.
I need to be way better. And everyone's like, you must eat so healthy because I'm so skinny. But I'm like, I eat Takis like religiously, like all the crap. So yeah, no, now I have a nutritionist and
Shout out to Good
a meal
Jeans,
prep
moms
chef.
in the building.
Yes, so yeah, that's where I get my skinny from.
Come on, mama. You got a little gargle stomach, eat on them Takis.
Yeah. I can eat spicy food though.
Huh?
I like spicy food.
Yeah, me too. I know the situation. That's why I said a little gargle stomach. Yeah.
Get in on the playoff action and win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks as you and the world's best players take the game to a new level during basketball's postseason.
You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Pick with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000 with basketball, hockey, and baseball entries today on Prize Pick, America's #1 fantasy sports app.
So, Jackie, we're going to do a couple more or less projections for the games on Monday, okay? We're going to start with the Fever versus Sun game tonight. So more or less, Caitlin Clark, 20 points.
More.
Okay, you got more. Good pick. More or less, Aaliyah Boston, 6 rebounds.
More.
Okay, 2 more. More or less, Alyssa Thomas, 8 assists.
Less.
All right. That's I like them. I like the picks.
I've been watching, so there's a lot of turnovers been going on lately.
Okay.
A lot of turnovers been going on lately, but it's your turn now for more or less projections. Okay, I'm going to give you the Storm versus Liberty series, all right? More or less, Breanna Stewart, 15 points.
I'm going to take more on that one.
Hey, that's a good one. Sabrina Ionescu, 3 3-pointers made.
We're going to go less on that one.
Okay. More or less, Skylar Diggins Smith for 5 assists.
Yeah, she likes to pass. We're going to take more.
I agree with you on that one. I would have did the same thing. But anyways, y'all see how easy that was? I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds on Prize Picks.
Download the app today and use code PODCASTP for a first deposit match up to $100. I repeat, go download the app today and use code PODCASTP for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Cha-ching! Now back to the show.
So Cameron, you want to get into it. We know that you just graced the cover of Slam Magazine for a solo. I know this is your second cover shoot.
Yes.
This one being your first solo one. How was that experience?
It was crazy. It was literally, was it the day after the draft? It was literally, it's such a blur.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. But it was the day after the draft. And yeah, it was great. I got to shoot with Cool Mac. He works with like Bronny. So he's just like so dope. And it was with a phone. Like we literally shot it on a phone.
Really?
Yeah, on the Google Pixel.
Wow.
And it came out super clear.
Wow.
But yeah, it was just like a huge honor. Like
Google
that's every
stock is
Hooper's
up
dream
right now.
for real. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you said it's been a whirlwind. Have you had time to like just let it settle down yet?
Not really.
No.
But like that's good though. Like I want to stay busy. I want to keep on the move. You know, we leave tomorrow for Vegas. So but it's been so fun. We've had 11 practices. We have 5 new players on our team and like it's just like a rebuilding year for us. But I think we just have such great vets in Kia Nurse, Lexi Brown, Lasia Clarendon, and especially like Dearica Hamby is my girl. So
yeah, shout out D.
Yeah, love D. So it's a great year. It's great so far.
I be seeing y'all on there taking pictures all day. I be seeing y'all acting up. I be seeing they page.
We spoke about the the Slam cover. Is there any other like publication that you would like to be attached to or have a cover shoot with?
That's a good question. I think just like as a female athlete, like the body issues, like always just like dope. Not in like, just to see like how your body, like as an athlete, purely as an athlete, just like to appreciate like our bodies are our machines, like it's how we make our money. So I think that's always like a really cool concept. Or like Sports Illustrated swimsuit, like I've always loved that. So I think it's super empowering. I just did Skims, which was actually like a huge, like I manifested that. And I actually just met Kim yesterday, which was like an out of body experience. Like I told her, I was like, you're even more beautiful in person. Like I met her daughter, North.
Yeah.
It's your bestie, Miss Westy. Like I love her. And it was just like, I can't even, my life right now, like it's absurd. You know, it's just LA. Like it's LA. This market's unmatched. So
the ad was
would you do the body issue if they asked you to do it?
I actually got asked like,
you say no.
You didn't want to do it?
Like
no
10 years ago. And I don't know. I was a little nervous to do it.
But it's like, what a cool opportunity to like step outside your comfort zone. Like,
I know that part was the part that I couldn't quite like grasp.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like how much body am I showing?
I know my dad would not like that. So maybe.
But it is something I regret. Like, that's one of those things I look back on and be like, damn, I could have been a part of that. When you look at the names that did do it, and it's like, man, it was just a cool, kind of fraternity of the body cover that I could have been a part of. So
could have been on the bus stop, sex symboling.
Maybe I'm not done yet. I'm not done playing yet.
Hey, but y'all make sure y'all put a face on front on what's his name?
You know what
his
threw me
face
off?
over it.
So that summer, I think it was the summer I was supposed to do it. Karl Anthony Towns, who was, I think, a little heavier at the time. He spent the whole summer not even like losing weight or trying to look good for the season. He did it all to be prepared for the body issue.
Yep.
And I was just like, I just saw his dedication to it. He was eating healthy. He was eating clean. He was working out hard. And I was just like, damn, like, I gotta, like, if I do that, I gotta get on that level. Like, and so I think I was kind of just shunned away from it, just from his experience. And I was like, I don't know if that's for me.
Yeah, stay true to yourself. Like, that's what it's about. If you don't want to do it,
said no.
You don't want to do it.
Like you like YT, you know what I mean?
Y'all would have got the magazine.
Yeah, I would have got
You'll
the
have
magazine.
another opportunity. You'll have another
nervous.
opportunity.
Yeah,
do it.
That'd be a lot.
Come on.
be a lot.
Especially because like some of the poses, like it's very artistic is how I put it. You know what I mean? It's not like you get up there and flex.
Yeah.
It's, they got
like, what if I'm like golf swinging, like
ways to hide you have to like
with
pose.
a golf bag in front of you, just oh, that is sick.
Whatever. Well, look, CB, I know you lived overseas, started your life. You know what I'm saying? Before you moved back to the United States, it was something that I learned about you and didn't even notice, but I'm glad I do. You did a lot of art.
I did.
And played volleyball.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of weird because now you playing basketball.
I know, you did your homework.
Come on, I do my homework.
Yeah.
I'm nosy. I want to know what made you fall in love with basketball and not art and volleyball, because I bet you was both great at both.
No, not art. Come on,
I know you
scribbling.
can still draw.
No, I cannot. But the funny thing is, I just always kind of wanted to be a black sheep. Like, I just wanted to be different from my family. And I grew up with the Currys because my mom was roommates with Sonia Curry, my godmother. And so Stephen and Seth and Sidell are huge parts of my life. So, of course, I always grew up around basketball. And I was like, nah, I don't want to be like I want to be different. I want to be artistic. And then I was like, okay, maybe volleyball. But like, I only like went in for the first 3 rotations and I was subbed out because I can't pass for crap and I can't serve.
Right.
So I was like, okay, like that's boring. And then I started playing basketball because actually one of the first camps I went to was Del Curry's like boys camp.
There it is, the Currys.
I know, right? So they really, I mean, like I'm looking at my mom, I'm like, you started it for me. But it was really Sonia like forcing me to go. But I'm so competitive. I love like mixing it up. So just fell in love with basketball, even though I didn't want to. I ended up falling.
Well, I'm no basketball glad you chose it.
Right, me too. Especially with everything going on right now.
Do you ever feel like you even though you play basketball, on your spare time, I would say, coach a volleyball team or some of the girls or something?
Yeah, I mean, I think, gosh, I don't know what you think, but you played, right?
Volleyball, my mama did, not me.
Okay.
I didn't do no volleyball.
No, but did you hoops, right?
Yeah, baller.
Yeah.
All time. I was
But
everything.
I don't see myself ever coach. Like, as like playing at a high level, I'm like, I don't ever see myself coaching because like what I value the most is like heart and hustle. And like, that's two things you can't teach.
Yeah.
And so like, that's like, if a kid doesn't do that, it bothers me. So I feel like I could only coach my kid.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at my mom. I keep looking at her. She coached me, and there have been days where she left me at the gym and I had to walk home. So
Wow.
Okay.
well, I was being really.
That's tough love right there. I love that.
But I don't think I could ever coach. So.
From a patient standpoint.
What you about to say,
Yeah.
mama?
Yeah.
What'd you say, mama?
You did.
It was a quick walk, right, Miles?
It was. Yeah, it was. I'll remember that.
When was the moment that you started though, like falling in love with basketball? If you had those other two things, you kind of wanted to be the black sheep, like you mentioned. When did it like click for you? Like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do.
I think kind of early on. I think I've been so gifted because I'm so tall, I'm long. Both my parents played D1, so just kind of had that natural athleticism. But when I was going into the 8th grade, I went to a summer basketball camp at Stanford, and that was my first D1 scholarship offer, even though I didn't really know it at the time, because they're not very direct. They're like, we'd want to have you, da da da. And then the next school offers me Oregon, and they're like, no, like we're your second offer. So I didn't even know they really offered me. The women's world is weird. But anyways, like I knew once they offered me, I was like, okay, like I should take this seriously. So it was early, like 8th grade. And I'm glad Stanford offered me that early because I needed to take my AP, like IB classes, like make sure I got good grades, got good test scores. So
was that your dream school all along?
Yeah, I would also say because Stefan's so close to Stanford, it was just really nice to know I had family nearby. And then also you just never know, like life's uncertain as a women's basketball player, as a basketball player in general. So you just want to get a good degree. Like if it doesn't work out, you can go work. I mean, that sounds terrible.
You brought up the relationship with Steph, and we all know how Steph, that relationship, how much he's been in your corner. And you've been to Davidson's game while he was at Davidson.
Yeah,
and
I was young. But
yeah, way back in the day, and in return we seen footage of him being at your games at Stanford. Have you had any conversations with him since being drafted and what to expect, and kind of helping you along the way with your early career?
Yeah, I think, oh gosh, we're both so busy. He's so busy, but he always takes the time to just like just set it straight. He's like, look, like it's going to be busy. Like people are going to take your time. Like that's the way it is. It's a business. But I think he's taught me to just bring the joy to everything, which I think we all know he just does a great job. Like you always see him smiling, like he's laughing, he's joking. Like life's just a joy when you're around him. So I think I've really learned that like it's a job, yeah, but like it's a privilege to do this for a living. So just like bringing light to every space you're in. And I think, he's really taught me that, especially at the draft. Like they're pulling you. No one ever told me how exhausting the draft is.
Gosh.
I don't know if it's like that for you.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was.
Gosh. I think the draft started at like 7:30 or something like that. And I don't think I left the building till like 1:30.
Because they take you on that media track after. Yeah.
You're doing media here, media there. Then you're staying behind waiting till the draft finish.
Yeah.
Then you have to talk to the team. And it was literally, the draft was at 7:30. You got to be there early.
At like 5.
To get ready, yeah. And then I don't think I left till like 1:30.
It's exhausting. And then you go out after.
And then you go out.
And then you're out till 6 a.m. And then the next morning we had WNBA meetings.
Funny story. I felt so bad for my dad because that flying to New York was my dad's first flight ever. So he was already a little messed up from the flight. You know my dad.
He was probably, yeah.
And so he went out with me that night after I got drafted. So I'm in the club with my dad for the first time, experiencing that. We're getting drunk. And then he takes the flight with me to Indiana. Okay. And so this is like 6 a.m. And I'm like, there's no way I can go to a press conference right now.
No.
But that was like my first lesson of being a professional, just pulling that shit together and getting the job done.
Yeah.
I think I did a good job, but it was just a funny story to share that moment with my dad.
Especially your parents. Yeah, my mom went out with me and my godmother too, and it was funny. So
it was a time was had, moms.
Tao. It was Tao. It was a normal like Tao experience. That's that what it's called? Tao?
Tao.
I don't even remember. So
have you and I know you're pretty competitive. Have you and Steph ever got to a one-on-one, a little game of horse?
we've done like, gosh, I feel like we've played like more video games, like stupid stuff. Like I feel like we really should. I don't even want to actually try and horse because I'm just gonna get mad.
Couple Mario Kart fades.
Yeah, no, but like if we shot, I would just give up. Like I'm competitive, but like with him, like I'm realistic. Like, he's gonna whip my ass.
Do you still play games?
I love it. Like video games are like fun. Like me and my teammates, like Ray Burrell.
I love this. Yeah. Like, what do you play?
I'm not good. Okay, I grew up playing Halo with my dad.
Classic.
Like, religiously.
Come on, Halo.
There you go.
And my brother. Yeah, the soundtrack.
Classic.
And then just like Mario Kart, all the stupid, like we got like a Switch. My first Final Four COVID year, they gave us like a Nintendo Switch. So I would be playing like, what's it called? Mama's Cooking or something. Just random stuff. Yep. But it's just like a fun way to pass time with like Ray. Like we're chartering now. Like our first charter flight was back from a preseason game in Edmonton, Canada. And we were playing 2K on the way back. And I actually think Ray was playing you, which is really fun. Yeah. So yeah, it's fun.
That's awesome.
But to answer your question, we haven't really played one-on-one. So, because I'm afraid he's going to whip my ass.
What was he like as a kid?
Honestly, he's like very much the same as he is now. Like he's probably like one of the most consistent people I've ever known. Like just
she was a kid. You just see the picture where you holding her when she's a kid, a baby, and she.
No, but like I remember, there's like this one story I remember. Like it stands out so much. I was with Sidell in the pool in their North Carolina house, and like we were splashing water on him, and he like pretended to melt like the Wicked Witch of the West. Like he's just such like a theater. He's kind of like a theater kid, you know. Like you've been around him. Like he's very theatrical and silly. Like he just like is just always acting a fool and being silly. So he's just a joy. Like he's just always so fun to be around.
So your early days, we heard there was a story of a doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
Which told you that you wouldn't pass 6 feet tall.
Yep.
And that was completely wrong. Tell us a little bit about that story.
Yeah, you know, it's like those like weird annual checkups. Like it's like, I don't know, I was probably like 8. Yeah. I was in the room with my brother and my mom, and they just told my brother Sai that he's like, oh, you're going to be 6'10", like da da da. And they looked at me like, okay, you'll probably be 5'10". And I was like, no way. I was like, my dad's 6'8", my mom's 6'3". Like, there's no way I'm going to be 5'10". So I started crying. Like, I got upset, and I like looked at my mom. I was like, there's no way that's right.
Yeah.
And then you know, as a girl, it's weird. So then like 3 years later, I'm like 6'4", going my freshman year in college, or longer than that. But then you hate being tall as a girl because all the guys make fun of you and stuff.
That's what I was going to ask. So like
now
you embraced being tall early at the early age? Not
so much like middle school, high school. I think that, especially as a girl, that time sucks for everybody. But as like those times I was kind of like slouching. I still slouch, but like definitely like wasn't like proud of it. But now I love it. It's fun. Like concerts are great because you can see over everybody. Going out's fun. Even though now it's just like, it's so hard to like, I've been recognized so much, especially now, like more than at Stanford. It's insane.
And you can model now.
I stand out like a sore thumb now, so.
Model height.
There we go. Yeah.
Taller than that. I've been told I'm too tall.
We still wearing heels?
Yeah.
Okay. Because my sister is 6'3", so, you know, I grew up around.
Tiosha's 6'3"?
Tiosha's 6'3", yeah.
Wow.
I hope she wears heels too.
She loves wearing heels.
Good for her.
She, and at first she was kind of not about it, but then I think as she's gotten older and mature, she's kind of embraced, like you said, the height and being tall and embracing that part of who she is. And so, yeah, she still wears heels and loves being dolled up. And so I love that for her. I know you also have been a strong advocate for mental health in battling, you know, your struggles and stuff like that. And also with your platform, you've been very open to sharing and, you know, encouraging people to, you know, just be kind to themselves. What made you, or how did you come about that of wanting to open up with your struggles to help others with their struggles?
Yeah, honestly, like that's a good question. I haven't really thought about like what the catalyst was, but I think really thinking on it, it's like COVID was really rough for me as a freshman I'm sure like you were in the
Same for
bubble,
me.
right?
Yeah,
like
same
it's
for me.
just so rough. Like I don't know what COVID was like for you guys. Like it was just different.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it
It's
at all.
isolating. Like it really
Mhm.
just like changed. I don't know if this is true, but like it felt like it changed my brain chemistry. And so that's kind of when I really started to struggle with
I hated the
anxiety,
mask.
performance anxiety, just like even depression, just depressive thoughts, like all of that. And so what really helped me get through all of that was just like being vulnerable and just like talking about it. And that's why I believe in like talk therapy so much, because just talking about it, it's kind of like organizing those thoughts in your mind, like kind of like filing those, issues away in your mind. So I was like, if I'm vulnerable, then maybe that helps. If it helps one person, then like, and I don't want to be like everyone else. Like I feel like everyone's kind of talking about it now. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be like, woe is me.
Right.
But it's like, it's true. Like if you talk about it, someone else will feel a little bit better about themselves.
And coming from you, people are even more so like, oh wow, like we all deal with something. Like if Cameron's dealing with this and now I have this going on, like, okay, maybe I can talk to someone and I feel more comfortable opening up to somebody because I know Cameron did. So shout out to you using your platform for that. Yeah, that was kind of my approach too when I was going through it. And it just happened naturally and organically. Like I didn't mean for it to kind of take a life on its own, but it was kind of like, man, I need help. Like, I'm not doing okay in here. I was struggling. And, it took for an interview I did while being on Zoom, and it kind of took off and I became kind of a face for mental health.
Yeah.
And, but it did help me. It did help just talking with someone, and, she helped me understand like, hey, at the end of the day, you are Paul George. I was like, damn, you're right.
I am Paul George.
I am Paul George.
I am Paul George.
I'm Paul George. That's all I had to do was just say I'm Paul George. And that went a long ways for me.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier on kind of the reason why you chose Stanford to start your college career, even though you had offers from Oregon and UConn. But was there anything else in that decision-making process on why you ultimately chose Stanford?
Yeah, I feel like the easy answer is like the academics. It was hard to get in. Like I had to take my SAT like 3 times. It was just like not that bad, but it's hard. It was hard to get in. I definitely obviously the academics, like I wanted to be set up, like God forbid, like I get hurt. Like what would I do after college, after basketball? So, but also I think just like California, like that's why I'm so happy to be in LA because I love Northern California. Like I like Southern California even more. So there's like an appeal to the weather. Being from Oregon, it's so rainy. Like, it's depressing there.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything about Stanford. And like, it's definitely kind of like imposter syndrome being there a bit because you're seriously like sitting next to the next Nobel Peace Prize winner because everyone is so bright and gifted. So honestly, there were a lot of days where I would come back from class, like statistics, stats, like just crying. Yeah. Because I felt so inadequate.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I pushed myself because I feel like it's helped me like in all areas.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have any relationships still outside of your teammates? You know what I mean? Because I've always heard people talking about like when you have an opportunity to go to a Stanford or a Princeton or a Harvard, that everyone is so bright that you literally don't know who you're sitting next to. You could be sitting next to the next Bill Gates in that classroom. Yeah. I'm just curious if you have any relationships still from maybe someone that, you had math with or something like that.
You're going to make fun of me. I actually joined a sorority at Stanford.
Okay.
I know, and I never thought I would, but it's not like your average, like Alabama, like they're all dancing in the doorway, clapping. Like, it's not like that. That would be too much for me. Normal one. That would be too much for me. I'm still I'm very outgoing. So like, it still fits with my personality. Like, I like to be outgoing. And at Stanford, like, the social scene's not very there's no like parties. So we would go to Stanford. We would like take the Caltrain to San Francisco when we want to go out, which is like an hour there.
Interesting.
An hour. It was a trek. Yeah. But I joined a sorority just to make connections, like you said. And yeah, honestly, I'm still friends with so many of the girls. So it's
awesome.
Great.
Your coach, Tara Vanderveer, recently retired. Did you know that was something she was going to be doing at the end of the season?
I had a feeling. She's like, she holds her cards close to her chest. I had a feeling because she's just been in the game for so long. And, we've all played for that coach that's just like so established and just like, she's Tara. She's like the greatest of all time in the women's world. And, she's the winningest of all time. So I had a feeling because she's just done so much. But, it's still sad and like sentimental because she's just to me, she's just like the sweetest grandma, and like she cusses me out. You know, grandma that'll call you dumb and dumber.
Like
that's like a good one. I don't know what you're like mean it. Like, what's like something your coach has said that's like, oh, that's a zinger. Like you got me on that.
I haven't gotten it much lately. My first couple years in the league, though, I had a coach by the name of Jim O'Brien, and he was an asshole. If I'm being honest,
that's just being real.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, but he would like, you know, I didn't like him, but I appreciate his coaching because I love being coached, and don't be afraid to coach me.
Mm-hmm.
And so he would get on me about, you know, little things, you know, if I'm not boxing out, if I'm not you know, being physical enough. And it was like direct, like at me, you know, chewing my ass out. You skinny prick, you know, yeah.
I remember that one.
Him. And so like, yeah, like, are you good with tough coaching? Like, are you accepting of tough coaching?
And like Tara was like different. She was kind of more like, she was pissed at me. Like she wouldn't like ignore me, but she would let me know if she was mad. Like, you know, you're that coach when you run off the floor and they don't really tell you anything.
Yeah.
That's what she would do.
You know,
but then on the bench, she'd be like, this ain't fucking dumb and dumber. Like, you know, like, you know, S isn't for stupid in Stanford. Like, sleep nights, you know, like all that good stuff. What else did she say?
Sleep at night.
No, she would say, you know, they made a movie Dumb and Dumber and you're not in it. Like stuff like that.
Ruthless.
But, you know, Kurt is funny.
Yeah.
That's my coach now, Kurt Miller. He's great. And so he's just like, he's like one of the only openly gay head coaches in the W, and he's amazing. I love him. But he gives me attitude. He's like, you went to Stanford and you're this stupid. He's like, you're this stupid and you went to Stanford. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Because we were doing late game situations and I took a 2 instead of a 3. And he just like will chew me out. And I love it. Like, I love it. And I play hard for him.
I feel like you couldn't, like, coaches couldn't get away with that in the NBA right now.
Really?
Yeah. You calling a player stupid, I think guys will have some drawback.
I think we're used to more.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Like, do you think Popovich does that kind of stuff?
Back in the day, that was coaching for the NBA. You know, there was some of this going on, but I just think now in today's NBA, there's not much of, you know, a head coach and his players kind of like bumping heads, or that coach is out of there. You know what I mean? Like, the organization is going to side with the players these days, whereas back in the day, head coach kind of had the upper hand, depending on obviously the player. But yeah, I don't think that will fly very well. I
think girls have tougher skin sometimes too. I'm not gonna lie, but we're used to more.
Hey, I'm all for that.
We're just used to a little bit more
fights with the players and coaches if they was doing that. Who's that came on here and told the story?
Didn't Meta or was it Latrell Sprewell got into it with his coach?
Yeah, who told that story?
Was that Gilbert?
B. Shaw told that story.
He like got in a fight with his coach.
Latrell Sprewell. Have you heard of the Latrell Sprewell incident with the head coach?
Oh, you should Google it.
I'm under a rock. I'm living under a rock.
Yeah, your dad probably know the story.
Yeah,
for sure.
When it happened, Jackie was probably 30. We were probably like,
I know.
We were probably like 15. So you might have.
I'm taller than you expected. Jackie's older than you expected. Let's just put it like that.
They haters because I look younger than them and I'm older. You know, like I got hair, he don't. You know, it's like he lost it.
My dad
still have it.
We don't.
Your dad's a baldy?
Okay. Oh yeah, my dad's a big baldy.
Love that.
See, you love that.
We love the baldy. Mr. Clean aesthetic. It's okay.
Yeah, we got a couple friends that are nearing that stage, and it's always
just let it go. That's all I ask.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm preaching to them. It's like I've been through that.
I'm not gonna say any names, but he has a hood on.
There's a lot of guys in the league where I'm just like, just
let it go.
Just let it go.
No,
I'm not gonna. Hey, I just got in the league. Almost.
Yeah, it makes no sense to like hold on to it when it's like, bro, just get it over with and you'll be done. It's much better life. You don't have to go to the barbershop.
Right? But don't you? My dad still has to.
That's a tough pill to swallow, though.
Of course.
And sometimes we give him shit. We're like, okay, there's still a patch there. And he's like, shut up.
Yeah,
there's still a little something there.
But to me, I feel like bald people have like
put it back on Dallas.
Yeah, they have I can't picture him with, and I knew him when he had hair, but like I feel like bald people, they have the bald look. You know what I mean? Like,
it works.
Most do. Because there's some people that like it's. Like, again, not to name any names, but like some people might not do too well with the baldy.
Yeah, I couldn't see you
on,
with hair now.
Neck shape or, things of that nature.
The little in the back.
Yeah, I couldn't see you with hair.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the truth. But I'm glad at least I experienced it because now I can,
I love the bald
talk
head
with
one
your friends and walk them through
now.
that
An advocate.
process. You know, it can be difficult for some
We
guys.
like
You
the
speak
bald
for
head,
the bald
Dallas.
people like the Lorax.
Yeah.
For the
Well, Bunky,
I love it.
speak for the old heads.
Yeah. Drink a lot of water.
Really? Is that
Drink
the
a lot of
key?
water.
Drink a lot of
Is
water.
that the key?
And brush your teeth and floss.
And floss.
That's the key. So you have good breath.
Good
You know what I'm
breath.
saying? Yeah. Because remember you said COVID, we had to wear the mask and stuff.
Yeah, no,
Breath
people
was,
don't be
people's
pushing.
breath was funky. You might end up under there. I already know.
It fermented.
Yeah. But I'm gonna keep the show going because I don't want them to keep joking all day. But we know you got a lot of accolades at Stanford, but you got a big accolade and a big accomplishment because you did it as a freshman, your first year. You got your NCAA championship.
Yeah.
Oh, come on now. That's like, what can I say? That's like set the stage for your career right there.
After that, I was like, how are we going to do that again?
Come on. So I want to know this. With you winning the NCAA championship, how has that motivated you now in your pro level?
Yeah, I'm sure you can speak to this too, but like it just kind of showed me like the next year, like how hard it is to really like, it's hard to win and to keep that standard and to show up every day. Cause like everyone talks about, championship mentality, championship locker room, but like that shit is hard to do every single day and to come with that energy and consistency. So, I mean, we're rebuilding this year at the Sparks, but I think, it's just like good to have in my back pocket. Like I know what it takes. I also know winning takes a lot of luck. Like a lot of pieces have to fall in place. And it's really like, it's like about staying healthy. Whoever can stay healthy, like that's who's going to win. And so last year, the Sparks, like we had a lot of hardship contracts and all that. So it's like, it's about who can stay healthy and it's about who can play together. So
yeah, exactly. Well, I haven't won at any level, like big enough. I haven't, I've obviously, taken Clippers to the conference finals. I've taken Indiana to the conference finals. So I get what you're saying on terms of each level, it gets tougher and tougher and tougher. I haven't quite yet got to the pinnacle in college and the pinnacle in the NBA. But it does take a lot of luck. Like a lot of people don't understand that to start the season out, it takes everyone being on the same page. But then it takes everyone to be able to make it and get to the finish line as well. I've been on the bad end of that stick probably for the past 4 or 5 years of my career now. So it is, pretty tough. And, it's hard to come by because you get to my age, these years matter. You know what I mean? You don't get these back. So yeah, to your point, like it's extremely tough. So, shout out to you and your early career of knowing what winning feels like. And, hopefully we can translate that to the WNBA and win one with the Sparks.
that would be great. I think we can, it'll take a couple of years.
Do you have any early besties yet?
Tierka Hamby.
Okay.
That's my girl.
D-Ham is the homie.
Oh, she's my mom. I follow her. Poor thing. I follow her everywhere because I get like nervous. Like,
but she has that like natural maternal
I love her kids.
instinct. Yeah.
I love her. She just FaceTimed me before this. Like we're laughing about just like all the comments people are making because like we're not used to people actually paying attention to us, So all these like mad ass men in the comments, we're just laughing at them. Like y'all are so weird.
Yeah.
It's entertaining. It's like
yeah. Do you feel like what's coming with the change in the WNBA? Like, because I think with yourself, Angel Reese, obviously Caitlin Clark, you guys have really, raised the level of women basketball. And like, do you feel that? Like, do you understand like the movement that you guys are taking this?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's all been confusing. To be honest, It's like, why now? And I really do think like that has to do with the media. It's like where they water the grass, it grows. And so like my mom like was the first to attend and graduate college because of Title IX. And like I wouldn't be here if she didn't get that scholarship and met my dad at Virginia Tech and they had me, and like from that, like her just being able to attend college because of basketball to now like people are like, I was jaywalking the other day and this car stopped right, like it stops, it almost hits me and they're like, roll down, they're like, I know you, like out the window.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
scary.
It's just such a crazy shift. And I'm not going to lie. I'm like, I guess better late than never. Like it's a great shift, but it's also like, I'm not going to lie. Like I think our draft class is special, but there's so many draft classes before us that have been just as talented.
Not
so I think it's
y'all.
just like a change of the times. And I just hope like the vets know, and like I've been really vocal about this, but like I hope they know that it's so much respect from my end. Like Tina Charles like handed me my ass yesterday. Like, and I'm like, great. Like, Tina, thank you. Cause I learned a lot. And, she was really kind to me the whole game. She was like, it's okay, baby. I'm like, thanks, Tina. Thanks, Tina. But yeah, it's all respect on my end. And I hope they know that like, it's because of them, that we're here now.
Yeah. Everyone's got a thirst, a drive to be the next big thing, to put the world on notice. And for me, to be one of the best basketball players on the court every night. So if you're answering when your thirst calls, Sprite's for you.
Well, y'all know it is for me then. My drive has got me to where I am today as an actor. And Sprite is for the makers and creators like myself. The visionaries that put in the work to build their dreams. Whether you're shooting a cinematic masterpiece on your phone, filling notebooks with sketches, or you're up all night turning your bedroom into the booth. Keep going, because thirst is everything.
Having equity and being a managing partner in my own mortgage company at the age 35 has quenched my thirst to be as successful as I wanted, but even that hasn't stopped my drive towards greatness. Sprite is made for those who thirst for success and are working to make their dreams a reality.
So keep going and remember to be true to yourself. Obey your thirst, Sprite.
This segment is going to be sponsored by Coinbase, but in June of 2021, the NCAA started allowing college athletes to get paid for their name, image, and likeness, the NIL, and you were one of the leaders during that time, getting different deals with different companies. Walk us through kind of what that whole process was like, maybe what was your first deal, and who kind of helped you navigate those deals during your time at Stanford.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. It feels like so long ago, even though I've been out of college for like 6 weeks. I'm like, back in my day.
That's a crazy thought.
Yeah. Right?
I remember, no more school.
Imagine if you got paid in college. You would have made a lot of money.
And I went to Fresno, and then with the...
yeah, you went to Fresno.
Yeah, and I went to Fresno, so
that's
small
not far
school.
from Stanford.
Not far at all. Yeah, not far at all. So you could have came down to Fresno and partied at Fresno.
Free Doghouse, or what's the
Free
place called?
Doghouse.
Yeah.
Good right there.
But yeah, I don't even know what I would have did. I probably would have transferred.
Spent it.
I don't know if I would have stayed there. I probably would have transferred, and after my first year, I had a little buzz and a little hype. So I probably would have just seen what was out there. I might not be in the league,
You never know. Like, everything happens for a reason. I strongly believe in that. But yeah, no, I don't even remember my first NIL deal. I think my first one ever was probably like with Celsius. Now I'm with a different, energy drink brand, but it's just like crazy. That feels like so long ago, but like the biggest help has been my mom and my dad. Like their momager, dadager. Now I'm with CAA and they're like the best. But they have kept me grounded, like helped me like take a lot off my plate, because Stanford's no joke. You have to balance school basketball and then you have to, worry about working with a brand. It's a lot. But I'm so glad it's been a thing, because now like I have a nest egg. Like I have, wealth that I can like put away and invest and like be smart about money. And it's been great. It's been life-changing for sure.
Any like crazy purchases, like, you get the money, you're like, oh, what do I do with this? Maybe mom and dad are like, you need to save it. And you're like, hey, this is my money.
Yeah.
I want to go get some new shoes. It could be something, but was there anything like fun that you bought?
We just had a conversation about me spending too much. So,
uh-oh.
But it was because, I was with a really good family friend. She buys a lot of Hermes stuff. So she got me an appointment, even though I've never bought anything. And so I bought like a bag that's 10K. And I'm like, that's so stupid investment. But apparently they appreciate over time.
So there you go.
You can sell it for like 22K.
Yeah, you can.
Great investment.
So, but I'm not going to sell it though, is the thing. I'm not selling that. I'm keeping that. But
trust me,
that wasn't the best idea.
Yeah, that's a great purchase.
It felt really good in the moment. I felt really bougie. They brought me my cappuccino. They brought me a glass of champagne. They brought me 2 glasses of champagne, actually. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll buy it. And I love that. It's orange. My favorite color is orange. The W is orange. So that's probably my stupidest purchase.
Cool.
Love that.
You deserve it.
Well, at least you get to save a little bit of money now.
Yes.
With the shoes.
Yes.
Because what you do last year, you was the first women's basketball player to sign a New Balance deal.
Yes, sir.
Mama happy with that one, because now you ain't got to worry about all that. You just call New Balance, they give you some free shoes and all that.
I know.
I know everything, Mama.
You did your homework.
I did that. You see what I'm saying?
You did that.
So what I want to know now, you tell me, I want to know, how did they approach you to be the beautiful face of their company.
Thanks. No, I mean, you kind of know, like your agents kind of feed you everything. I'm kind of just like ignorant. I'm like, okay, this brand wants to work with me, cool. But it's kind of like with a shoe deal, like they kind of recruit you like a college almost. It's like, okay, they all send you. So like, I remember I was at my boyfriend's house and I walk into his room and the shoes are piled literally to the ceiling. So it's like, I was thinking of Jordan, Under Armour, gosh, who else? It was between Nike, Jordan, New Balance, Under Armour.
Mm-hmm.
And so like in Nike and Jordan, like, okay, which Nike or Jordan? So I was like, Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. But you know what the crappiest part was is like you have to give away all the nice Jordans they give you. But I will say,
give them away.
Yeah. It's okay though. It's okay. It's okay.
So because you didn't sign with them, they took them back?
No, they didn't take them back. I just can't, you can't
wear them. Yeah.
So I just gave them away.
Gotcha.
Which is tough. So like my mom and dad both like worked for Nike for 20 plus years. And so my mom was a product line manager, which was like the coolest job. She worked on Dawn Staley's shoes. She worked with people like Tamika Catchings, Jen Rosati, who's like my 3-on-3 USA basketball coach.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, my mom's an OG. Like
your mama is the shit.
Do we still get a
Right?
Your
discount
mama
on
done did
there?
every damn thing.
Right?
Do she manage? Do she got a managed company? Because I need her. I need you, mama.
She's
I need
momager.
you.
She's blueprint of a momager. But
Mama.
no, yeah, and my dad, like, so like I would get all the when you're like sample size and they can give like you just get all the shoes. But yeah, it was like a weird shift. But like New Balance, like they are so amazing. Like I remember one of my first, like cool experiences with them was shooting like my first commercial with them, and Kawhi was in it. Like all the guys.
Gonna talk about it. Yeah.
Kawhi, Jamal. All of them, DeJounte, like they were all so cool with me. And like the funniest part though was Kawhi.
Yeah.
Please
And
tell us about
he is
him.
funny as shit.
That's
Like,
what people don't know.
no, he's funny. And like all the New Balance guys, like our head marketing guy was like, we haven't seen anybody make him laugh more than you. So I was like, give me my flowers, Kawhi, if you're watching this. I made you laugh because I was just saying, I don't even remember what I was saying, but he was doing like the
That's what people don't understand. Kawhi is actually one of the funniest human beings.
He's so funny. He's like the male version of Aubrey Plaza, like just like blunt. You know what I'm talking about? Was she in Parks and Recreation or something? She's like the epitome of like blunt, dry humor.
Yeah.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's over my head.
We don't want to fake swag. I'm looking at you like
she's so cute too. Look
Okay,
her.
I'm gonna have to work on my Parks and Rec. I'm gonna have to research my
I can't
Parks
believe you
and
don't
Rec.
know who that is.
Never watched it.
Oh, White Lotus? No?
no, more
Is
like
she
the office type
is she
of
the
guy.
mom?
No.
Or not the mom, but okay, let us
She-
see.
But we might be able to recognize.
What is she?
We
She's
got
like
little Theo.
dark and mysterious
Yeah.
kind of vibe.
Oh, okay.
I was taking shots with her at the
Yeah.
ESPYs.
She's the
she was so
girlfriend.
much fun. Yeah.
Right? Season 2, she's the girlfriend of okay. Got
Okay.
it.
Yeah. No, but no, Kawhi is funny. He's funny. And he kept saying, he was like, when is this going to be over?
Yeah, that's him.
He was like, when do we
is-
get to go
You don't
home?
want to do
Talk
nothing.
about efficient. Am I done
He's like,
yet?
are we done yet?
We good?
But it was a lot of fun. And then Tyrese was making fun of my shoe size the whole day.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, well, you have little feet. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's not very kind.
Yeah,
No.
right?
I was like, well, my feet are bigger than yours. What does
Yeah,
that say about
yeah.
you?
Little guys. Man, little guys. Tell you. How long was that shoot?
It wasn't even long. That's why I'm like, you guys are so, like, I've been on like 8-hour shoot days and it was
Yeah.
really like 2 hours. And the guys are like, when are we allowed to go home? I'm like, I'm happy to be here. Like, yay. I'm happy to be here.
I want to know why Steph Curry didn't get you to sign with Under Armour.
That's the tea. I don't know. Well, I love him. He knows it.
But I got another thing that speaking of all, I got a lot of hype going on right now with girls signing, get their own signature shoe and all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
You New Balance face. What they talking about? They better be giving you one.
You know, I think you need to reach a certain caliber to earn your own shoe. So I think like a PE would be good to start with.
But I'm
Player edition.
Caitlin, what peak has she reached? But just breaking a lot, she ain't. What you the same place? What you mean?
There we go.
Caitlin, the thing is, like, Caitlin's my girl, and I feel like she's done so much for the sport already. But also, that's why I'm glad I'm not in those positions to make those decisions, because like it's kind of bullshit that Asia has like her shoes just coming out,
Right,
you know,
right.
and like people will make the argument like, oh, a guard shoe always sells better than a post shoe, and that's just how it is.
Mhm.
Guards are more popular in the game.
Mhm.
But Asia is Asia Wilson to me. Like that's an idol of mine. So that's why I'm not envious of the people that
Do you
that have
want
to
a
make-
shoe deal? Do you want a signature shoe?
Hell yeah, I want a shoe. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you call it?
The Killer Cam.
Killer
Killer
Cam.
Cam.
Oh, you gotta come out with a pink. You gotta come out with a pink
want the
colorway
killer
too.
cow.
Pink?
Orange.
No,
Pink and orange.
Killer
Warm
Cam,
colors.
because it ties
What's your
in
favorite
with
color? You know,
it ties in with Cameron, Killer Cam. We got the pink.
Okay, I see.
I
what
like
you're
that.
doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Killer cow. That's dope.
That's
But it's gonna give me like 5 years. Then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But I really do believe like you got your like because you earned that.
yeah.
You earned that. So I
Yeah, it was
think you need
definitely
to
a
earn
build
it.
up. It came out of left field for me. Like
Really?
I wasn't a big prospect. It was literally built up, came out of left field. Do you want a shoe deal? Oh yeah, me.
You said
That's how I felt. That's how I felt.
Yes. Where do I sign?
I used to wear your shoes too when I
Yeah?
was out wearing Nike. Yeah. I forget which one it was. It was a low. It was
They
a
Probably
low
the
five.
find
ones,
the picture
PG
and
ones.
post it.
Those shoes were everywhere,
We gonna
man.
see.
It's something.
Colleges,
They
travel
did
chains.
very well.
It was a cute color too.
When
but-
you so you were New Balance, but Stanford is Nike, right?
Yeah. So I would have to wear Nike shoes.
You would have to wear Nike shoes.
Yeah. And I would get even my coaches
Just
would be
walk
mad.
arounds though. You could wear New Balance.
Walking around, I could wear New Balance, but if we travel with the team, they were like, "Okay,
You
wear
gotta
your
wear Nike.
like." They wouldn't
Yeah.
let me wear New Balance. I'm like,
Got
oh
it.
my god, but whatever. That's
You
why I'm
couldn't
got
get
him in the
in
pros
trouble.
now.
Was New Balance like at all, or they kind of just understood? Like
They were super
Okay.
lenient. Yeah, they're the best. Like truly, like
They like
Not
long
just
as their
saying
ass
that.
wearing them now. You can put them up there. Put them up there. What's them called? What's them ones
I don't even
called?
know. What are
Those
these
kind of-
called?
Is those a Kawhi's?
No.
The Kawhi.
I do. New
Kawhi
Balances
shoes
do got
nice,
some hot
though.
shit.
Yeah,
like
they-
Kawhi wears his walk arounds. He wears some walk arounds. That's like, oh, okay, them is kind of.
Are they comfortable?
They're on
They're
the
really comfortable.
I gotta give me
Yeah.
a pair of New
Yeah.
I think
Balance.
they're called
I'll give
like
you some.
the 550s or something.
Y'all
like
heard that. She gonna get me some?
I'll hook
Thank
you up.
you.
Yep.
I'm size 12.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Size 12?
Yeah, I ain't got a little
Kawhi
foot.
hasn't given us anything, so that'd be nice.
Yeah.
You like get your own.
Yeah. Kawhi.
Get your own,
No,
they in the
Kawhi will tell you to
Get
your
your own.
I didn't
face.
know we had golf, Dallas.
Kawhi will
It's
tell you
like,
to your face that he gonna give you
So-
something and won't give it to you.
So I gotta ask, being the number 2 draft pick for the Los Angeles Sparks, who
Mhm.
has a huge tradition of winning, and one of probably the biggest organization in the WNBA, comes with pressure. How are you making the jump and the transition from college to the WNBA so seamless and picking up kind of where you left off in college?
Yeah, that's a great question. I was just talking about this. Like, it's almost the spacing. Everything else is harder. The
Mhm.
physicality, the speed, like literally everything. Like the way your confidence just goes up and down like this. But the spacing, let me tell you, the spacing is amazing.
Yeah.
Like when I was at Stanford, I would get tripled like this. Like there was no spacing. The defensive 3,
Mhm.
oh my God, that's the best thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Even though it's like I'm always like tip, like I'm not used to it. Like I'm like tip tap.
Towing
and
that
then
line,
back
yeah.
out. And then Tina's like, I'm like, Tina's probably like, why is she touching me all the time? Like she can just stay there for a sec. But the defensive 3, like it's not clogged at all.
Yeah.
And there's just so much space to work. So like yesterday, like I did like a push cross. And everyone was like, that was in your bag? I'm like, yeah, because I have space
You
to
got space to
work
get
and I'm
these
actually
moves.
allowed to play on the perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been so fun. It's been hard,
Yeah.
but my teammates are great. My coaches are great. I'm just having like so much fun. It's way more fun than college.
Yeah.
I loved college, but it's more fun.
More fun. So have you had the conversation with your coach of just like how he wants you to play, giving you, that space to kind of see what player you are or who do you want to be in the league, if I'm asking that right? Like, is he
Yeah.
giving you the freedom to kind of explore and kind of explore your game in this next level?
Yeah, I think it's kind of happened really naturally because I still need to put on that muscle to really kind of like bang with some of these girls because these are like grown women,
Mhm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of more like my advantage is my speed. I'm versatile. I can put it on the floor. It also works really nicely because Dearica's like, she's solid. Like she can go through someone's
Mhm.
chin. So it's been
Mhm.
great. Like I can kind of space the floor and we're interchangeable. But I'm doing a lot of, like I can ghost off the ball screen, like just slip right off and, pop for a 3
Mhm.
or, I can get a paint touch and then kick it out, which I love to do. Like I love to move the ball.
Mhm.
So I guess the best word is like freeing. I feel free.
Yeah, feel free. Love
Yeah.
that.
In your final season at Stanford, you won the Lisa Leslie Award. And fast forward, now you're playing for the Los Angeles Sparks, a team where Lisa won multiple championships with. But have you had a chance to talk with her or meet her? And what was that conversation like?
She sent me a video after and like I died when she followed me on Instagram and all that stuff. And a coach at the Sparks now, Coach Steve, coached her when she was with the Sparks. And they've been texting back and forth about me. And like, that's just nice to know. But for me, like she's one of my biggest idols because I think she's kind of like just such an icon of like doing both. Like she was like one of the best, one in my opinion, one of the like the best center, and then like would just go off court and be a baddie, like be a model, like do all of it. So that's why I love her so much, and just like unapologetically like herself. So to win that award was a huge like that like meant the world to me.
Awesome. So you kind of touched on this earlier, but the Sparks haven't been to the playoffs since 2020, and now you guys got 2 top 5 draft picks. There's probably a little expectation this year that streak could, possibly come to an end. Where do you see your team and the chances of making the playoffs this year?
Yeah, I mean, this is one thing Tara's taught me is like, when you work hard, you can beat anyone on any night and you can get beaten by anyone any night. And I think if the things align for us, if we organize our offense a little bit more, if I cut down on my fouls, stay in the game more, we can beat anybody. Even though there are some super teams in this league, like I feel like we could give anyone a run for their money. So, while I do think this is like a rebuild year and we have like 5 new players and it's just there's so much change. We're good. Like, and we have just good chemistry at the end of the day. And I think like, I don't know, like there have probably been teams you've played on where there's like, you have great athletes, but there's no chemistry, like things blow up. But I think we may not have like, 5 superstars, but we like play well and like vibe well off each other.
Yeah. And that's all that really matters, to be honest. Like I've been on teams, I haven't been on teams where I would say the locker room kind of blew up, but I've definitely been on teams where there were 3 guys clicked up here, 3 guys clicked up there. We all get along, but there was still like a click amongst the team. But then I've been on like the past Clippers teams, literally everyone vibed. You know what I mean? Everybody was on the same page. Everybody got along.
Too. Yeah.
We enjoyed it, win, lose, or draw. Like we just enjoyed playing the game with one another. So that means more than anything is the chemistry in the locker room. And so if you guys already got that, you guys are young, you'll grow together. You guys are off to an unbelievable start. Shout out Magic Johnson, who's the governor of the Sparks.
I love him.
Yeah, he's amazing, amazing. Have you had any interaction or had a chance to meet Magic?
Yeah, I met him at a Lakers game and we were up in the box and I stand up next to him. I'm like, am I as tall as you? But no, he's
actually a big dude.
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
And the fact that like I told him, I was like, I admire you because you kind of broke the mold. Like they wanted him to play like 4 or 5, right? And like he was like, no, I'm gonna be a point guard. And so I'm like, you kind of broke the mold. So like that's why I admire you. But he just imparted his wisdom saying like, he told Ricky and I, he was like, you're the 2 draftees, you're coming in here. He was like, why can't you take a vet spot? Go take a vet spot. And we were like, damn, okay.
Right.
But he's right. Like it's a job, but we don't want to do that. But if you have to, you have to. And he was like, just be you and be ruthless. So I was like, I respect it.
Yeah. Yeah. See, teaching you be unapologetically yourself.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson.
Big
I love
Magic.
him.
He does everything.
We actually went to a Dodgers game, last year?
Yep.
Yeah, last year.
And Magic was in the suite, and we got a chance to connect and kind of talk to him a little bit. But it was funny because I had there was a whole thing that went down when I was in Indiana, and I was requesting a trade, and Indy thought I was tampering with Magic, and so it was a big investigation that went down. And so I go up to him, and I was like, I'm not going to cost you any money this time. Just kind of break the ice. That was like, I think my first time meeting him. We've kind of, spoke through people, but never officially met. So yeah, I kind of broke the ice there and we laughed and
that's funny.
He was great. He was awesome. But like he's a big dude. Like he just takes up a lot of space. It's not like it's weird because he's not like a fat guy.
No.
But he just takes a lot of space. Like I don't know if it's just a presence or aura around him too.
Big personality.
I think it's that.
I think it's that, right? Like, because you don't expect him to be that big of a guy, but then you walk up on him, it's like, God damn. How do you stop this?
No,
you know
seriously.
I mean? In his prime, how do you
clips.
stop this?
No, yeah, it's crazy.
Well, you was drafted on my cousin's birthday.
Oh, what day was that?
April 15th.
April 15th.
Come on.
Aw.
But I need to figure something out. You just played your first game last night.
Yeah.
Okay, you was drafted April 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to figure this out.
A month
Had
later.
your first game last night.
Yeah.
Okay. You just had to go through training camp. Just literally had to go through training camp. and you played your first official game last night. How do you do that so fast and it was everything so close like this? You ain't even been out of college that long.
I know. Gosh, I feel like I'm like living a double life. It's crazy.
Like, how do you just talk to me now?
That's one thing I envy about you guys is you kind of have time to get acclimated and all that. And also you don't have to say bye to so many teammates you think you're going to play with. Like we had to say bye to like 5 girls that had like just as good of a shot to be on the team as anybody else. So it's kind of it's really heartbreaking. Like we need more teams and we have more teams coming. Like what are they? The
Valkyries, Golden State Valkyries, right?
But yeah, I mean, that's why we need teams like that to give that talent space to like flourish. And it takes like, and we don't even have like a G League or nothing. So how are we supposed to develop talent?
Right.
Like these girls have to go overseas, which is not bad. Like it's still like develop any way you want, but like people have to go overseas and like that's hard on people. So I don't know. To answer your question, it's been a whirlwind, a lot of emotions, honestly. There's been a lot of days where like, I'll be honest, like crying with my GM. Like it's just like an adjustment.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Only been a
I would
month.
imagine.
Yeah.
A
It's
month.
been a month.
I would imagine there would be
I'm a
another
little
team,
baby.
though, right?
Like,
A month.
I would imagine there would be another team added as well, right? Because the Valkyries makes the 13th
Toronto.
team,
Did
right?
you hear about Toronto?
Toronto's getting a
But
team
we
as
never
well.
really officially, I don't know if y'all know, but they never like officially said that was like happening. That was just
The
like
Toronto
word of mouth.
team.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
But it should like, I feel like a
That
Toronto
makes
team would do
sense.
really well.
Yeah.
Like
That makes
people-
sense.
It's crazy that it's like all happening like this.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
But-
Love that.
That is quick.
Ain't like us.
So like Jackie mentioned, we're recording this after your first WNBA game and you played against the Atlanta Dream where you got to show your whole skill set. You had 11 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, and 2 blocks. But walk us through kind of that day leading up to the game. Were you nervous? Were you excited? What was that like preparing for your first professional game?
Yeah, it was, you know, we had 2 like exhibitions, so it kind of gave you a taste of what it's like. But like the shooting matrix, like is what really confuses me. I'm like, we don't all just shoot together. Like I'm not used to just like, okay, that's your time. And then you sit and you go do that. It's just such an adjustment. And then also like pregame meal, like in college, like you all eat as a team. Like now you have to like, it feels like I'm like fending for myself. I'm like, what food am I going to get? Like, I don't know. But yeah, I ordered food. I napped, like got ready. Like also like, it's really fun to get ready for tunnels because like, it's kind of like meditative. Like, okay, like do your makeup real quick, do your hair, like put on a fun outfit. But yeah, it was a vibe and like, I'm just kind of getting used to it. And I like the freedom of it.
I know like my first couple of games in the league, I got my feet wet and I was like, yeah, I got this. Like I'll be an all-star. I called it, you know, early on in my career and told my teammates like, yeah, give me 2 years. I'll be an all-star in this league. With your getting your feet wet, playing your first game yesterday, did you have a moment where you're like, oh, okay, like, yeah, I could do this. I got this.
Honestly.
Without, you know, I don't want you to feel like you know, bragging or boast, but you can talk your shit a little bit.
No, being realistic, like I think what really helps me is like the 4s are the best players in the game right now. Asia Wilson, Brianna Story, like they're the best players in the world. And I think like what's nice is like when I put on a little bit more muscle, like I have the body type of like that, you know, kind of dominant player. Like I'm thankful to have played in a program at Stanford where like I have court vision, like I can move the ball, like I love passing. Like that's like I feel like that's underrated what I can do. Like I can drive, paint touch, like kick, find
That's
somebody.
good to know. Price Picks. Yeah. She like to pass.
Over on assist.
I know. I couldn't do that, but I just had to say that. I can't do that.
dead.
We get in trouble for that. But I just had to say that. It's good to know. Go ahead.
But I don't even know what I was saying. Oh yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna like I think like I've always been like a late bloomer, so I think it's gonna take me a while. I don't think I'm gonna be an all-star in 2 years. That's just
Why
because
not?
I don't know. Maybe I should say that, but I'm a humble person, and I also like I'm realistic. Like there's so much talent in the league right now. Like there's so many good players. You know, that's just an honor to play against them. But yeah, I think I should be one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We got Asia coming up in a couple days. Who else on the calendar you have like marked, like circle? I can't wait to get a chance to play against her.
Gosh, I don't know. People love to ask this question. I feel like when girls, especially she wants to play me, I'm gonna beat her ass. I'm like, no, please don't.
From a like, from a like a learning, from an experience, from a because it doesn't necessarily have to be from a like, oh, I want to bust her ass. But like, I had people that I circled of just of like, man, just to share, and to learn and pick up things experience. While I'm playing them, and like not necessarily to, like, of course I want to go out there and perform and play well, but just the experience of playing against them. Yeah,
I definitely think Brianna Stewart, just because like she comes off of ball screens, and I feel like as a big, like I've never had to defend a ball screen. Like it's usually just like switch, but like actually like learn how to fight through that. And then honestly, like when we played Phoenix, I was guarding Rebecca Allen, and if you don't know her, she's like a 6'2", lanky, like lights out shooter, but she was placed at the 4 because BG is hurt. So like I had to guard her, and I was like running her off of staggers, and like I've never done like, with my big ass. I'm like long as like I'm just trying to keep up, but it's like so good to like learn how to do all that, because you never know what position you get switched on to like a Ryan Howard, and like you don't want to get crossed. Like you need to learn how to stay in front of people. So I think like playing against Stewie, like learning how to just guard a player that's just so versatile, I guess. There's just so many people though in this league that are so good. So good. Gotcha. So you mentioned earlier about Kim Kardashian coming to the game, and she brought Northwest with her, and that was your first time having the opportunity to meet him. I actually saw the picture that you guys took after the game. I'm so much taller than her. It's so funny. You towered her. Yes. Talk to us a little bit about how that experience was. Like now you're having celebrities, but not only celebrities, they're children, and Northwest being in an iconic family, she's already going to be a superstar. She's iconic all over TikTok, and she's got a following of her own, but she's also, pretty good at basketball as well. Talk to us a little bit about that. No, North is a sweetheart. Like I gave her a pair of shoes, like actually a pair of Steph's shoes. People don't know that because she's a huge Steph fan. Okay. And it was nice. Steph got her some shoes, and she was really happy. And I gave her a jersey. I was like, sorry, this is not as cool as Steph's shoes. But, it's just great to see kids like that, like really invested in the game, because I don't know. I think in the past, like, the dropout rate with girls is so huge. Like girls just like stop playing sports, and then little boys, like they play way longer. And like all those boys, like they're not going D1 or going to, they're not pros, but like the life lessons they learn from sticking with it. So I think like this is just great, because like you just keep seeing more and more girls that, are just like participating and involved. And it really makes me happy. So, and Kim, I love Kim, and I just kept thanking her. I'm like, you don't know what this means, to take time out of your day to just bring awareness and to spread the love. It meant a lot. That's what we're here to do. You know what I mean? That's what we're here to do. Spread love. Okay. We got to make it to a game, right? We got to make it to a game this year. 100%. We better definitely see Podcast P courtside this year. Yep, at Crypto. We're at Long Beach State right now. So are you guys sharing the space? Are you guys going back and forth between Crypto and Long Beach State? No, I've not even stepped foot in. I mean, well, I actually came to your... Yeah, you to the game 3? Yes. Not game 3. Game 3, we were on the road. Game 2, I believe. 2? No. It's 1 or 2. We lost. So you lost. It's easy. Game 4. Wait. No, game 5. Game 5, huh? I should know that. It was so fun. And like Crypto, like it's a big... We're not going to... Like, hopefully we fill all the seats, but that's a cool arena. It was so cool to like we were sitting like right courtside. Yeah. It was so cool. I know. I noticed you like when I came out to shoot in the beginning. Yeah, you didn't say hi. These girls are tall as shit. I know. I didn't. I was locked in. I'm kidding. I don't blame you. James was like giving us side eye the whole time. I was like, "Hi, James." And he was like, I was like, Jesus, they tall. Yeah, I was in heels too. Yeah. And you probably taller than me. With heels on, yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of game, your next game is against the 2-time WNBA champions, the Las Vegas Aces. I want to know, what about that team impresses you the most?
Oh, gosh, so much. I mean, just their will to win. I think they're coached by a great coach. Asia Wilson, really. I love Kelsey Plum, too. Like, I just love the way they play, the way they vibe off each other. I mean, they're like, they got that like swagger to them, They're just like, no one's beating it. Like, they got to come through us. If they're going to win. So it'll be a good challenge for us. They got a good fan base. Come through us. You got to come through us. Yeah. Yeah, it's intimidating to an extent. But I'm excited for the challenge. And I think we'll do well.
They got like what kind of team do I say they got? They got old, new, and brand new on their team that's good.
Yeah.
Like they got a bit.
Yeah, they're kind of well balanced.
Well, Candace
They
Parker's
are.
gone now, but she was the oldest at
Yeah.
first.
Did
She
you
was
see
the
what they
oldest.
did
What?
for her? What did they say? Like they did like
I
an
saw it,
arrest
like,
and
the
What was
locker
it?
room thing that they did.
yeah, rest and retirement. Or
Yeah,
something.
rest and-
Oh, but
Yeah,
they gave her that.
rest
She
in
was, I forget
retirement.
what it was.
What?
They was dying with that. I see that.
No, but they're so funny. Yeah, and Candace Parker. Oh my God, don't even get me started. Like she's the GOAT. So
Have she gave you any words of wisdom since you?
no,
been in
but
the-
I would die. I would die.
Yeah.
But she was in the same Skims campaign, so just to like be in the same, like
Mhm.
brand deal as her is crazy. And like Skylar Diggins, Kelsey Plum was in it, DJ Carrington, like all hoopers. I was the only rookie, and so like there's also pressure with that. You're like, oh, who's this rookie like in this deal? So, but it's just huge honor, yeah. But
Your first model gig. Come on, cut that check.
yeah,
First model gig. Skims. We still ain't got no Skims over here on the set.
Jackie really
Come on,
wants
Pete.
Skims.
Jackie really
I
wants
know.
Skims. Yeah.
They for men too. That's why
they're
I
the
want some.
NBA partner too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. I actually got some Skims. I actually got some Skims.
They're comfy.
They sent me some Skims, not you guys.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
Sorry.
Shout out to LA Sparks. They got a great one. Cameron Brink, appreciate you coming
Thank
through and
you.
blessing
Thank you
podcast.
so much.
Pete.
Great.
was an honor.
Thank
That was an
you.
awesome episode, and stay tuned.